Animains. These players are good to have around. They're usually good at shot calling and always prioritize healing over damage, but be careful, these players are likely to go nuclear if you complain at them too much. ASHE mains. The less skilled they are at hit scan, the more they just spam dynamite. Either way, they can still get into some sneaky positions and usually secure a pick or two. Those players that are less skilled though will likely rely on Bob to do something for them. Baptiste mains. If they prioritize heals over damage, they're probably better to have around. Either way, they can likely get their ultimate rather quickly. They often clutch with their immortality field, but if the team fight moves too quickly, odds are they'll either waste their ultimate or get caught way out of position. Bastion mains. A camper. Plain and simple. Think they're more skilled than they are. In any other shooter, they're the type to just sit in a corner or they're spawn the whole match with whatever gun is easiest to use but still effective. The M4 in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, for example. However, they know that because their pick doesn't require much skill, they will taunt the enemy team in the ult chat just to tilt them, but if any of their teammates don't work around them, they will get just as tilted themselves, if not more so. Brigitte mains. Nowhere near as powerful as they used to be. Probably longs for some of the GOATS era and before nerfs get reverted, but they know that it's not going to happen. They're always right in the middle of the team fight alongside their teammates though, and will at least go down fighting with their team. Diva mains. Don't be shocked if these players only picked up Diva for Rule 34 reasons or the endless gamer girl gremlin memes around this character. They're usually still good at working with teammates, but their ultimate is always all or nothing. Either they get several kills that can secure a team fight, or they miss and it does nothing. No in between. Doomfist mains. One of those no middle ground players. Either they go in quick, get a pick or two and get out, or they dive in and immediately get destroyed and blame their supports. There's no in between whatsoever. If they're one of the ones that die quickly, they'll get super tilted if you call them out or ask them to swap. Echo mains. Self-proclaimed flex players, spiritually linked to all PHARAH players. Echo mains are defined by their ultimate usage. If they copy a DPS hero, they're just a DPS main. If they copy a tank or support, they'll be less familiar with how tank v tank or support v support matchups work the more time they have on DPS heroes, and might even botch their ult. Genji mains. Whatever you think is a cringy weeaboo, these guys take it to a whole new level. Don't be surprised if they speak in a broken half-English, half-Japanese mess of a language. They might also have J-pop or other loud music in the background. They'll still do their jobs though, but they will get instantly tilted if the team either doesn't have an Ana, or the Ana nana boosts literally anybody other than them. HANZO mains. Still weebs, but nowhere near as bad as Genji mains. They are, however, another no middle ground character, either doing very well and getting their ults quickly, or just giving the enemy supports easy quick ults. If they use one of the wolf skins, they might be a furry. Rip scatter arrow though. Junkrat mains. These guys are basically just Call of Duty players that only use noob tubes. They can be pretty sneaky and manage to get either behind enemy lines to get a pick, or more often break shields and finish off low health enemies from a safe distance. Usually stronger on defense, but the smart ones know the best spots to spam their nades and still get value. Lucio mains. Everybody likes to have these guys around. Just having them in the fight guarantees at least some healing or better mobility. The ones that go off on their own trying to get environmental kills though are probably less concerned with the team fight and more concerned with getting boop clips to post on Reddit. McCree mains. A tryhard. Plain and simple. No matter their skill level, they will always be trying their absolute best and at least try to work with the team. The less skilled ones though will rely on their flashbang to get any kills, and even less skilled ones will just spam fan the hammer constantly. No matter what though, they will get instantly tilted if anybody calls them McRightClick. Mei mains. Despite the Mei is Satan memes, these players are usually just trying to be supportive. They might not deal the most damage, but clutch freezes can often help teammates finish off key targets, and their walls can guarantee a stagger or even protection from certain ultimates. If they play Mei in deathmatch though, they just want to watch people suffer, however. Mercy mains. There aren't too many of these left, courtesy of how badly Mercy was nerfed into irrelevancy. They'll still do everything they can for their team and will usually have very good judgment on who to res. While some teammates will get tilted if they aren't the one that gets rezzed, everybody knows not to tilt the Mercy, because if the Mercy gets tilted, everyone on the team is going to be in for a long rest of the match. Moira mains. Tend to get annoyed when people call them DPS Moira players, even though odds are they're either trying to finish a low enemy, help deal with an annoying enemy set like a Genji, or most likely of all, just refilling their healing tank. The more they spam their flying purple people killer instead of their happy yellow bouncy ball though, the more aggressive they are, which can lead to them getting out of position while their team gets destroyed. Still somewhat of a weeb and may unironically yell Kamehameha when using their coalescence. Orisa mains, probably former Reinhardt mains that just wanted to change things up. They're very good at working with teammates, trying to cover them with their shield and body block with Fortify, but they aren't the best at dealing damage, nor are they the hardest tank to kill, so they usually get focused down hard. The Bongos can still clutch a fight for the team, but not them alone, so they're likely to save it for when they're with their team. Definitely more of an extrovert. PHARAH mains, the definition of egotistical. These players think that they're the best in the game, and they alone carry their teams to victory, even though odds are they'll get absolutely nowhere without a pocket Mercy. They will get instantly tilted if the team doesn't run Mercy, or if the Mercy goes to do their job of healing literally any other hero. Will get even more tilted if the Mercy uses res on anyone other than them as well. Definitely one of those players that starts outright throwing if they get tilted enough. Reaper mains may or may not still be in a bit of an edgelord phase IRL. Reaper mains are defined by their playstyle. Flankers that go off alone tend to think they're better than everyone, and if they're killed will still blame their team but can still bring in clutch flanks. The Reapers that stick with their team are often harder to kill because they're right in the middle of it all, getting healed either from their supports or just constantly doing damage. Either way, these players tend to be fairly quiet in team chat. Rip Nano Blossom though. Reinhardt mains, the positive one, will always try to keep their team together with little bits of positive reinforcement and reassurance. They're always ready to protect and even die for their team and are just good players to be around in general. All Rein mains have a mutual respect for each other because of the Rein v Rein mind games that occur in trying to get the other one to screw up first. And almost always will put a sincere GG in the all chat after a match, win or lose. Roadhog mains probably would much rather be playing DPS but didn't feel like sitting in a 10+ minute queue. While they are often more focused on doing damage, they're still good at trying to use their hook to force key targets out of position and will often at least try to body block damage for their supports. However, they are an ult farm, both for their supports and enemy DPS, so try to make sure they aren't feeding free damage to the enemy team. Sigma mains. If these players have any experience playing Hanzo back when he had Scatter Arrow, or are decent Junkrat players, they're probably good at being able to hit people around corners or at off angles. While they do tend to spam, they're at least going to be spamming more key targets. They might be a bit forgetful though, leaving their shield up longer than need be and might lose it accidentally. They may or may not also lose track of a flanker, which will often cost them. Soldier 76 mains. These players probably only started playing Overwatch because their other shooter friends dragged them into it. They might not have the best aim, but are still able to put damage where they need to and can stay alive to stall halfway decent with their biotic fields. But if they're out of position and get killed, they'll probably still blame their supports. The less confident they are in their aim though, the more reliant they are on their ultimate to get any real value. Sombra mains, the definition of a flanker. However, they're another no middle ground hero. Either they get clutch flanks that secure a kill, or a hack that gets the enemy killed, or they miss all of their shots and wind up not really doing that much for their team. They often tend to lack awareness of where their teammates are though, because they'll often use their EMP with when their teammates aren't close enough to capitalize on it, or will use it just to stall only for it to go to waste. Symmetra mains. The longer they've been playing Symmetra, the better they likely are. If they've been playing her since the game first came out, they're insanely loyal. If they picked her up with the shield generator rework, they understand that they're more of a situational pick. If they picked her up more recently, however, they just wanted to be able to play her more for fun or attempts at cheeky plays, but are less apt at those plays than the players with more experience of the character's various other iterations. Torbjorn mains. Probably only main Torb as a troll pick initially. After the rework though, they know that while Torb is certainly more viable, he requires more coordination from his teammates, which is often not as good as they think it is. They'll probably still be more reliant on Molten Core to do most of their job and will get instantly tilted if anybody calls them Trollbjorn. Tracer mains. A glass cannon. While they can output a surprising amount of damage, they can't take as much of it, sporting the lowest amount of HP on any character in the game. They often are more concerned with just trying to distract or annoy the enemy though, because they know that if they zip around like a mosquito, they can take the enemy's focus away from their teammates. That being said though, when they do get killed, they're often killed far sooner than they think because they get caught up in the heat of the moment and forget they have such low health. Widowmaker mains. Another no middle ground hero. They'll either click heads and take names or miss every shot and don't really help much at all. They'll probably also spam the in-game attack or defend the objective callout while almost never being anywhere near the objective themselves. Winston mains. Probably only picked up Winston just to annoy Genji mains. They have a tendency to dive in and not dive back out fast enough and will often dive deep behind enemy lines. They can still stall the crap out of an objective though, especially with their ult, since their ult isn't the best at getting kills. Wrecking Ball mains, masters at stalling objectives. They often can sneak into positions to harass the enemy rather easily, but aren't the best option for a flanker and tends to pair best with a dive-only comp. But they're stubborn and will try to force their pick as long as possible under the pretense of their ult being able to get a pick or two. The longer they try to force it when it's not working though, the more tilted their teammates get. Zarya mains. Team players, often right in the thick of the fight trying to cover their squishies with bubbles. The better they are at bubble management, the more effective they tend to be in a fight. The less effective they are at bubble management, the more reliant on grab they are. Probably has a tendency to use their ult at seemingly odd times though. May or may not make a few Mother Russia memes in the chat during the match. Zenyatta mains. Another case of would much rather be playing DPS. They sometimes forget they can even heal and will focus only on their damage output. The better players though will call out their Discord targets and will try to save their Transcendence until it's absolutely needed. They're used to their own mind games of people trying to bait out the Trance, but everybody makes mistakes. They still at least try to be positive during the match, but they also have a tendency to get tilted when their teammates don't help them with a flanker. And there you go, that's what every Overwatch main says about you. Granted, this is more so done in a joking, satirical kind of way and isn't meant to be taken too seriously, so don't go spamming all kinds of hate in the comments because I dared to talk smack about your main. Other than that, I originally was going to post this a while ago, but then Echo came out, so I had to do that too, and it wound up throwing a wrench into my plans to make this video. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know. Feel free to subscribe if you're new, and I will see you later.